Among the myriad human species that have inhabited Earth, Neanderthals, Homo neanderthalensis, hold a unique place in our collective imagination. Often portrayed as brutish yet enigmatic, these archaic humans are celebrated for their striking similarities to modern humans, Homo sapiens, and their profound differences. Their genetic legacy persists in many of us today, a testament to their close relationship with our species. Frequently described as our sister species, Neanderthals interbred with early modern humans, leaving traces of their DNA in non-African populations. This document explores the biology, adaptations, lifestyle, and cultural achievements of Neanderthals, drawing on archaeological evidence, genetic studies, and paleoanthropological research to paint a comprehensive portrait of these remarkable beings. Spanning their existence from approximately 400,000 to 40,000 years ago, we delve into their survival strategies in the harsh landscapes of Pleistocene Eurasia, their physical prowess, and their surprising cognitive sophistication. Neanderthals roamed parts of Eurasia during the Middle to Late Pleistocene, a period roughly corresponding to the Chibanian stage, approximately 774,000 to 129,000 years ago, and extending into the subsequent Turantian stage. This era was marked by significant climatic fluctuations, with glacial and interglacial periods shaping the landscapes of Europe and Western Asia. Eurasia during this time was colder and often harsher than today, characterized by vast steppes, dense forests, and abundant megafauna such as woolly mammoths, rhinoceroses, and large herbivores. These environmental challenges demanded remarkable resilience, driving the evolution of Neanderthal traits that enabled them to thrive in conditions that would test the limits of human endurance. The Pleistocene's megafauna presented both opportunities and dangers. Species like the woolly mammoth, comparable in size to modern African bush elephants, were formidable prey, requiring cooperative hunting strategies and robust physicality. The harsh climate and predatory threats, such as cave bears, lions, and wolves, further shaped Neanderthal biology, fostering adaptations that some might describe as superhuman by modern standards. From a distance, Neanderthals might have appeared broadly similar to modern humans, but closer inspection reveals distinct anatomical differences. Recovered skeletal remains indicate that Neanderthals were on average shorter than post-World War II human populations, standing approximately 14 centimeters, 5.5 inches shorter. The average male Neanderthal measured around 1.65 meters, 5 feet 5 inches, with females slightly shorter. However, the tallest known specimen, Amud 1, reached an estimated 1.78 meters, 5 feet 10 inches, suggesting variability in height. Intriguingly, when compared to European Homo sapiens populations from 20,000 years ago, Neanderthals were of comparable or slightly greater stature, indicating that their height was not a fixed limitation, but varied with environmental and genetic factors. Despite their shorter stature, Neanderthals were significantly heavier than modern humans, with males averaging 83 kilos, 183 kilograms, and females around 66 kilos, 146 kilograms, approximately 20% heavier than the average Homo sapiens. This weight disparity stemmed from their extraordinarily robust skeletons and characterized by thicker, denser bones. Virtually every bone in their body, from the femurs to the shoulder girdle, was more compact and sometimes twice as dense as those of modern humans. Their shoulders, chest, triceps, arms, and kneecaps were particularly bulky, suggesting immense muscularity and physical power. Neanderthals' robust skeletal structure underpinned their exceptional strength, an adaptation likely driven by their close-quarters hunting tactics. Archaeological evidence suggests they wielded large, heavy spears to hunt medium to large prey, including rhinos, horses, elephants, and woolly mammoths. These animals, often equipped with thick hides or fur, demanded immense force to subdue. The pronounced muscularity of Neanderthal arms, often described as Popeye-like, likely resulted from repetitive spear thrusting and grappling with prey. Studies propose that Neanderthals possessed elevated levels of hormones such as testosterone, which enhanced muscle mass and enabled feats of strength such as carrying 27 kilograms, 50 pounds of meat over distances equivalent to 30 miles. Their physical power extended beyond hunting. Researchers estimate that male Neanderthals could bench press up to 500 pounds, 200 kilos, and females 350 pounds, 160 kilos, without training figures that rival elite modern powerlifters. This strength, combined with their compact, stocky builds, conferred remarkable durability, allowing them to withstand the physical toll of their environment and lifestyle. Neanderthal skeletons bear witness to the brutal realities of their existence. A systemic analysis of recovered remains reveals that 79 to 94% of individuals exhibited signs of heel trauma ranging from blunt force fractures to traumatic amputations. One particularly harrowing case involves an elderly Neanderthal who in his youth lost his right arm, suffered a shattered left clavicle, was blinded in one eye, and experienced such severe ear trauma that his ear canals were sealed by new bone growth, rendering him deaf. These injuries likely resulted from a combination of aggressive hunting techniques, interpersonal conflicts, and animal attacks. Remarkably, evidence suggests that many injuries were not the result of predation, but rather defensive wounds inflicted by animals during Neanderthal attacks. Studies indicate that 74% of Neanderthals survived violent encounters with animals, including 21% with big cats, 17% with wolves, and 36% with bears. Their thickened skin, nails, and hair, inferred from genetic studies, likely provided additional protection against abrasions and cold, further enhancing their resilience. Neanderthals' internal anatomy was equally remarkable. Their barrel-shaped chests housed a wider rib cage and larger lungs with an average lung capacity 20% greater than that of modern humans. Exceptional individuals, such as the male specimen, Kabara II, may have had a lung capacity of 9 liters, 40% greater than the average modern male, and surpassing the record of 8.5 liters held by elite athletes. Their long, wide noses facilitated rapid air intake, moving air 100% faster than modern humans, an adaptation to support their high metabolic demands in colder climates. Neanderthals required an estimated 4,506,700 calories daily to sustain their robust bodies and fast metabolic rates, a necessity in cold environments where heat loss was rapid. Their nasal cavities with greater surface area warmed and humidified incoming air, protecting their respiratory systems in frigid conditions. These adaptations underscore their specialization for short, intense bursts of activity rather than endurance, as evidenced by their skeletal and muscular structure. Neanderthal lower limbs further highlight their specialization for speed over stamina. Their toes were long and wide, providing prolonged ground contact for powerful, rapid starts. Short leg bones and long, narrow Achilles tendons, less efficient at storing energy for long-distance running, contrast with the longer legs and stiffer tendons of modern endurance athletes. At the microscopic level, Neanderthals had a higher proportion of fast-twitch muscle fibers optimized for explosive bursts of energy rather than sustained activity. This muscular composition aligned with their hunting strategy, which relied on quick, close-range attacks rather than prolonged chases. Neanderthals possessed exceptionally large brain cases, with males averaging 1,640 cubic centimeters and females 1,460 cubic centimeters, approximately 30% larger than those of modern humans. While brain size alone does not determine intelligence, it suggests significant cognitive capacity. Archaeological evidence indicates that Neanderthals engaged in complex behaviors, including coordinated group hunts, tool-making, art creation, and care for the sick and injured. Their brains, however, differed structurally from ours, with a more rounded, elongated shape and larger areas devoted to sensory processing, particularly smell and vision. Their large eye sockets, estimated to be 15% larger than those of modern humans, suggest enhanced visual acuity and night vision, likely an adaptation to low-light environments. These larger eyes required greater brain power for visual processing, contributing to their overall brain size. Despite their cognitive capabilities, researchers caution against assuming superior intelligence, as their mental faculties were tailored to their specific environmental and social demands. Neanderthal culture, once underestimated, reveals a depth of sophistication. They crafted tools using the Levallois technique, producing sharp, versatile flakes for cutting and scraping. Evidence of symbolic behavior includes the use of pigments such as ochre and the creation of simple art such as engraved patterns on cave walls. Burial sites such as those at Shanidar Cave in Iraq suggest ritualistic behavior and care for the dead, with some graves containing pollen traces interpreted as possible floral offerings. Neanderthals also demonstrated remarkable social cohesion. The survival of individuals with severe injuries, such as the deaf and blind elderly male mentioned earlier, implies communal care, as such individuals could not have survived alone. Their ability to communicate, likely through a combination of vocalizations and gestures, facilitated these complex social interactions. Isotopic analysis of Neanderthal remains reveals a hypercarnivorous diet with approximately 70% of their caloric intake derived from meat. This reliance on large game such as mammoths and rhinos underscores their role as apex predators in their ecosystems. Their large, robust teeth, often worn at the front, suggest use beyond eating, possibly for gripping and manipulating objects, freeing their hands for other tasks. This adaptation highlights their resourcefulness in processing food and materials in a challenging environment. Their high caloric needs place significant pressure on their ecosystems, requiring efficient hunting strategies and possibly contributing to the depletion of megafauna populations. However, Neanderthals also consumed plant foods when available, as evidenced by dental calculus studies, indicating a degree of dietary flexibility. The interbreeding between Neanderthals and early modern humans, occurring approximately 50,000, often 60,000 years ago, left a lasting genetic legacy. Non-African populations today carry 1–2% Neanderthal DNA, influencing traits such as immune response, skin pigmentation, and metabolism. While some studies suggest minor effects on athletic performance or physical appearance, the overall impact remains debated, with conflicting findings on its significance. Neanderthal DNA may have conferred advantages such as enhanced immunity to certain pathogens, but it also carries risks such as increased susceptibility to certain diseases. Ongoing research continues to unravel these complex interactions, shedding light on how our extinct kin continue to shape our biology. The extinction of Neanderthals and their megafauna prey, such as woolly mammoths, parallels modern conservation challenges. The African bush elephant, a contemporary megafauna species, faces a similar fate, with a 50% population decline over 3 generations due to habitat loss and human-wildlife conflict. Initiatives like Planet Wild's Elephant Conservation Program in Tanzania offer hope, using innovative solutions such as bee fences to deter elephants from agricultural areas, reducing conflict and protecting both elephants and farmers. Planet Wild's crowdfunding model supports diverse conservation projects with transparent reporting on fund allocation. By supporting such initiatives, individuals can contribute to preserving Earth's biodiversity, ensuring that species like the African bush elephant do not follow the path of their extinct Pleistocene counterparts. Neanderthals were extraordinary beings, sculpted by the relentless pressures of their environment into a species of unparalleled strength, resilience, and ingenuity. Their robust bodies, adapted for survival in a world of megafauna and extreme climates, were matched by a cognitive sophistication that challenges outdated stereotypes. As we uncover more about their lives through fossils, genetics, and archaeological discoveries, we gain not only a deeper understanding of our closest relatives, but also a reflection on our own place in the natural world. Their legacy, encoded in our DNA and echoed in the conservation challenges of today, reminds us of the fragility and resilience of life on Earth. Short story: the survival journey of our ancestors long ago. When the world had not yet been conquered by humans, a group of powerful beings roamed the Earth. These beings were not like us, but their strength, resilience, and intelligence were undeniable. They were the Neanderthals. On a bitterly cold winter's day, the vast forest was silent, blanketed in snow. Beneath the towering ancient trees where only faint beams of sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, a group of Neanderthals moved steadily. Their muscular, robust bodies left deep footprints in the snow as they made their way forward. Each step was strong, deliberate, an embodiment of their ability to survive in a world full of megafauna and harsh climates. They were born for this fight against nature. Facing giant beasts like mammoths, rhinos, or bears, they had learned to adapt to hunt and to defend themselves. In a remote valley, a group of Neanderthals prepared for the most significant hunt of the winter. Among them was Corey, a seasoned warrior. Corey was one of the tribe's main hunters, his massive frame and thick muscles a testament to his strength and experience. His eyes were sharp not only to spot prey, but to interpret the landscape, to read the signs that only those skilled in hunting could notice. The tribe had survived many winters, but their existence relied on these big hunts. Failure could mean death, as food would be scarce during the harsh winter months. They could not afford failure. Corey led the group, and they quickly picked up the trail of a mammoth. The beast, massive and imposing, was their target. But hunting such a creature was no easy feat. The mammoth's size and strength made it a formidable opponent. However, with the Neanderthals' coordination and strategy, they were hopeful. The group used large spears made from sharp stones and bones to attack the mammoth. As Corey and the others closed in their muscles, rippling with effort, the mammoth began to panic. The Neanderthals' speed and strength allowed them to keep up with the mammoth, thrusting their spears into its thick hide while working together to bring it down. Though Corey wasn't the first to strike, it was his tactical mind that guided the group to success. He knew that it wasn't just physical strength that mattered, but also intelligence and coordination. His leadership and swift decision-making in the heat of the moment were the reasons for their success. Corey understood that hunting wasn't only about brawn, but also about brains. As the mammoth finally collapsed, the group of Neanderthals let out a collective sigh of relief. Though they were warriors, they knew the hunt had required more than just strength. They had to outwit the mammoth, to outthink their environment and the challenges it presented. The group returned to their camp with the spoils of their hunt. The mammoth provided enough food for months, but they also respected the animal, using every part of its body, its meat for food, its bones for tools, and its fur for warmth. Corey sat with his tribe, reflecting on the hard-fought hunt. Even in victory, they knew they were dependent on each other, their unity and their ingenuity. Life was harsh, but the group's strength and adaptability allowed them to survive. They didn't just rely on their muscles, but on their intellect, their ability to communicate, and their deep connection to one another. The Neanderthals understood that survival required more than just physical strength. It took heart, teamwork, and wisdom. As the fire crackled and the tribe shared the spoils of the hunt, Corey looked out at the vast wilderness. Though life was hard, there was a certain satisfaction in knowing that they had conquered another day, another challenge. And as they huddled together, they were reminded of the power of community, their ability to adapt, to work together, and to survive in a world that was constantly trying to break them. The life of Corey and his tribe serves as a reminder of the resilience and intelligence of the Neanderthals. They were not merely strong beasts roaming the earth, but complex, resourceful beings with deep social bonds, clever hunting strategies, and an understanding of their environment. They may not have written their stories down, but their legacy lives on in the very DNA we carry today. They lived, and their legacy still echoes in us.